I see people, and I used to do this, get caught up in like the feminine of like, well, I'm going to go with the flow. Today I really don't feel like doing that. Like, love that for you. But I can promise, like, I can look at someone, and if they're always stuck in the wounded feminine, I can tell you where their business is not going to be in 6 months. That's the reality. Before we dive into today's episode, I am so happy you're here watching the YouTube video version of it. And I want to personally invite you into She Leads. This is my free online community where you are going to meet like-minded women who are walking out in faith, creating a new relationship or building on their current relationship with God. This is a place where all of who you be is welcomed, and you're curious about God. You want to strengthen your faith. You want to bring more of God into your life, what that looks like, what that feels like. She Leads is where I lead a Sunday at 4 p.m. EST call every single week. I bring through Bible verses, stories from the Bible, and I relate them to specific topics each Sunday. So you'll see the link to join She Leads below. Come and join us, and I would love to pour into you in that container. All right, let's get into today's episode. Welcome to the Embodied Woman podcast. If you are new, hello, welcome. If you are a regular, welcome back to the show. And FYI, if you didn't hear yet, the podcast is now available to watch on YouTube, which is so fun, so exciting to be on the tubes. And I'm excited to roll out more side videos on the YouTube throughout the 2025 year. So make sure, if you have not subscribed to the channel and you're listening, go to the notes below. You'll see the link and it'll take you to YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hi, welcome to my living room. This beautiful quarter of my living room that I've turned into a little bit of a podcast studio. And it's so fun to have you here and to just connect with you face to face, so to say, and to pour into you this way. And if you're listening via audio, hello, wherever you're listening. All right. So today, got my little housekeeping. We're going to talk about the YouTube channel. Probably you'll hear me promote it for the next few weeks until people really are like, oh, it's on YouTube now. Because that's typically how it works. Today's topic, I'm so stoked to speak on, because it's like, you know, when God places something on your heart and then quickly you walk the walk of what he places on your heart. Like, say you want to work on compassion or kindness, and then he gives you lots of opportunities to practice compassion and kindness. Well, this episode is all about discipline, and I had to walk my walk of discipline to really find the time today to get this episode recorded, because I get to record this episode. I look forward to hitting record, and it was just one of those days that just a beautiful full day with clients and visitors in town, and just such a good day, and realized, I need to make sure I submit an episode today for my team. Today is the deadline, and it's got to get to them. So I had two choices of, it's all good. It's whatever. It's, or you're going to sit your booty down in the window you got. You're going to call the Holy Spirit to fill you up. You're going to hit record, and it's going to happen, because this is what we do, is when we are aligned with something in our purpose, we make it happen. Like, that's discipline. Discipline is what separates successful people from stagnant people. Let that land for a second. Discipline. So we are diving into what discipline is, what it isn't. I'm going to give you some hot takes on why I don't like the word motivation when it comes to really achieving your goals. So buckle up. I pray that this episode is convicting, that it awakens something within you to make a positive change in your life. And so you can really achieve success in your own definition throughout 2025 and beyond because you have the discipline in place. And discipline is a muscle, right? Just like everything else. And how we do one thing is how we do most things. So I believe that when we strengthen our discipline muscle, we really begin to see results in every area of our life. And today we're honing in on discipline when it comes to leadership within your business, but you can apply that to health, to relationships, to a habit, anything you can apply it to. So I want to just read you when I was taking notes, what I want to just instill to kick this off. Motivation, this is one of my most favorite reminders. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Let me repeat that. Motivation is what gets you started, but discipline is what keeps you going. So when you lack discipline and you're only ever leaning on motivation to keep you going, looking for inspiration, you're drawing from an empty vessel. Discipline is where you are drawing from an overflowing vessel, carafe, cup, whatever you want to say, because the root of it is in healthy soil versus motivation that's just like a little 1-inch soil that you've poked a hole in and thinking it's going to take root, but there's concrete underneath. That's motivation. And discipline is the roots take root into the rich soil, and then they go deeper and they go deeper, and then you water them and you take care of them and you nurture them, and then they really take root, and then you just show up, and then the fruit of it begins to show in your life. And so as entrepreneurs and leaders, discipline is the key to unlocking consistent growth, even when the excitement fades. Discipline is the key for entrepreneurs and leaders, because eventually projects or things, like the excitement is there, but not quite there when you first started, right? That like, let's go. Yes. And then think about when people set New Year's goals. There's like a stat where by February 2nd, 80% of people's New Year's resolutions of doing the healthy things, doing the habits fall away because they started off strong, feeling motivated, but because they lacked the discipline, there was no follow through when the excitement of what they were stepping into faded away. So this is where discipline really comes in. And I'm always reminding my university students of, if you want to create success, I'm going to need you to be disciplined, to show up, to every Monday a course gets dropped, to watch the course by Wednesday, get your booty on open office hour calls Wednesday at 1 p.m. Like disciplined to show up where you say you're going to show up in life, and you're going to reap the results that reflect that and then some, because we allow ourselves to be doubly, triply anointed by God when we are in our God-given assignment. Sign me up for. Most people rely on fleeting feelings or motivation to take action. But discipline, like I mentioned, it separates those who lead from those who follow. Discipline separates those who lead from those who follow, because motivation and feelings are fleeting. This is why it's so important to get around other women who are walking this walk. So if you do, and when you do, fall into lacking motivation, your feelings are taking over, your emotions are taking over, you have other women where they can lend you their discipline and say, hey, hi, nope, we're going. Like, we're going. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that. And then all of a sudden, by proxy, you're elevated, you're activated, and now you're back in the discipline muscle, back on the train. This is why being around like-minded women is such a game changer. It's such a game changer. So that's really, really key. For me, an example of where discipline has been such a game changer is my content creation comes to mind first. People always ask, like, how are you able to create so much content? Like, there are some weeks where I've got 2 to 3 posts going out a day. And no matter what, every week there's something going out. Now we got the podcast back out. I did a bonus episode for New Year's Eve. We've got these that are out every week. We've got, just so many things going on in the business, the back end within the university and then my brand. And it's because I'm disciplined. I show up and do the things when I say I'm going to do them. Discipline is integrity. So if you want to be in integrity, meaning you follow through on what you say you're going to do, because you know where you're going, and that's more important than where you're at right now and where you've been. The discipline is there to kind of keep you in check of, hey, that thing you said you were going to do, well, let's do it. And sorry, you're lacking motivation, but it's time to rise. And I'll give like a micro example with this episode, right? Full day, like I could be downstairs working out with my husband right now. He's downstairs in our home gym. I could be down there. We've got friend visiting right now. We just had friends leave the other day. But I'm here because I want to be here. I'm disciplined. Like, this is my priority, is recording this episode to pour into you and to be of service. So the discipline was there where it wasn't even an option. It's just, yep, this is it. Like, said I was going to record an episode, get it to my team by end of today. And that end of today is coming around the corner. So here I am. That's discipline. When it comes to my health, right? That's choosing. I shared it before in the 2024, what I'm letting go of and stepping into episode, but discipline of what I consume, what I eat, my supplements I take, making the right choice over the harder choice, even if it's uncomfortable. Discipline when it comes to working out. Like, I am down in our home gym at least 5 times a week. I would like to 6, but at least 5 times a week, I'm down there. I am disciplined when it comes to my morning practice. I have been for, since I can remember. I had a mom that modeled the importance of having a morning practice of just filling up your cup. So I'm very disciplined. I am in my prayer room every single morning, in the Word, in my Bible, journaling, praying, whether it's for 5 minutes because I need to get somewhere and slept in or whatever that is, let myself sleep in, or I'm in there for 2 hours. But no matter what, I'm disciplined to get into that room so I can fill my cup up with God, and I can make sure that I'm overpouring from an overflowing vessel versus a dry one. Discipline when it comes to creating content, making sure I've got things that are always in the queue or in my draft that I can easily schedule out or get my team to help me with. And so just in every area, but it took practice. It took just showing up when I didn't want to show up. It meant creating the content when I didn't want to create the content because I could be doing something lazier, but discipline. So those are a few different examples. Okay, the difference between discipline and motivation. Motivation is temporary. It's tied to emotions and it fluctuates daily. Especially as women, are you kidding me? We could be so motivated during our, what part of our cycle? Like, we're ovulating, right? All the things, take on the world, so motivated. And then boom, hormones change, feelings change. That's not going to be there. So motivation and feelings are fleeting and they fluctuate daily. So we cannot rely on going on Instagram to get inspired or finding a motivational quote to get inspired. Nope, it's discipline. Discipline is, actually, I'll give an example of motivation being temporary. So feeling excited about a new project, but losing steam when obstacles arise. Let that example land. Feeling excited about a new project, but losing steam when obstacles arise. This is why it separates successful people and not. Whenever things get rough and challenging on a new project, do you jump ship? Do you give up? Or are you like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. But if you only rely on motivation, you're going to give up when you come up against obstacles. That's the reality. And so just take a little bit of a pulse check, an inventory of where in your life you've given up. And it's because things got hard and you were relying on your feelings and or your emotions. Excuse me as I interrupt today's episode. This is going to give a little bit of a commercial vibe, but you know I'm here to share something that is going to serve you and support you should you feel this call. Currently, the doors for student enrollment for Untamed University are currently open for winter semester. If you are ready to step more fully into your God given assignment, to play all in, to create the impact and income you're here to create, I welcome you to join us inside the university. This winter semester, it is 3 courses in one container. First one is all about personal branding. This is the key to magnetic marketing, to attracting your ideal clients, to standing out amongst the noise. So no matter where your business goes, the pivots you take, the iteration that it makes, your personal brand is the greatest asset you have, something that people keep buying into again and again. Second course is all about building a thriving community. Without a thriving, raving community, you have no one to sell to. You have no one to invite into again and again on a customer journey. So I'm going to teach you how to do that through a course each Monday. A 30-minute pre-recorded course drops every Wednesday. This is the whole semester. Every Monday, a course drops. Every Wednesday, open office hours from 1 to 2 p.m. EST. You get to get on a Zoom call with me, other students, ask me questions, mastermind, move the needle. It's incredible. And then into the third course, which is the third month of the winter semester, is all about monetization. I'm going to teach you how to create lead magnets, high converting offers, high converting funnels, so you can start to monetize your business in a scalable, sustainable way. Throughout the whole semester, we're going to be doing that. But that month is going to be amplified in such a big way because your personal brand is magnetic, because your community is solidified. So if you want to step more fully into your God-given assignment and make sure that your business is thriving to the capacity at which it's ready to thrive, make sure to enroll in winter semester right now, today. The link is in the notes below, or you can head to theuntameduniversity.com. You'll see everything about winter semester there. And I hope to see you joining us in that powerful community of women who are ready to also welcome you and grow alongside you. All right, back to today's episode. Like, if we rely on our emotions for everything as entrepreneurs, we would get nowhere. We would create zero success. Discipline is consistent. So motivation is temporary. Discipline is consistent. So it's a commitment to action regardless of feelings. It's a commitment to action regardless of feelings. Example, sticking to a routine, making decisions based on priorities, not your mood. And it's so easy. I see people, and I used to do this, get caught up in like the feminine of like, well, I'm going to go with the flow. I'm just going to, today I really don't feel like doing that. Like, love that for you. But I can promise, like, I can look at someone, and if they're always stuck in the wounded feminine, I can tell you where their business is not going to be in 6 months. That's the reality. And if you are watching, listening to the show, you are someone here with a big God-given assignment. So discipline means making decisions based on priorities, not feelings. And that doesn't mean that you lack empathy. It means that when you're working on your God-given assignment, the discipline has to be there. And then when you're done working and you're off the clock, be all about your feelings. Like, be in your feelings, be in your feminine. Like, this is the beauty of being a feminine, empowered leader, is we know when to use our feminine intuition and energy and essence, and when it's actually in the wounded, keeping us from getting into doing. So this isn't about not ever feeling your feelings. This is, as an entrepreneur and a leader, knowing when to rely on your feelings and when they're actually hurting you in the long run. Motivation is like a spark, and discipline is the engine that keeps the fire burning. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the engine that keeps the fire burning. That's the difference between these two. So why discipline is crucial for entrepreneurs and leaders? I want to give you 3 nuggets here. So like this really lands for you, because I want you to create massive success and impact in 2025. And it requires this. So number 1, it provides structure and focus. So we live in a world of endless possibilities and distractions. In our phone, we have access to distractions. And so when you lack discipline, well, it's going to be really easy to fall prey to distractions and shiny object syndrome. But when you have discipline and you come up against a distraction or other possibilities, shiny object, you catch yourself and think, wait, is this decision an asset to my future or a liability to my future? And then choose from there. Example, showing up for your team or your clients, even when you don't feel like it because you're being distracted. So discipline keeps you aligned with your vision. So you do show up for your clients. So you do show up for your team. So you show up and do the work because you are in purpose, on purpose, for a purpose. And that's what keeps you going over a fleeting feeling. So why it's crucial, number 1, provides structure and focus. Your eye on the prize. It keeps you checked. It has like checks and balances for distractions. Second one here, builds trust in yourself, right? Confidence builds trust, but discipline then is like confidence on steroids. It really has you standing out amongst everyone else in this embodied, beautiful way that is a confidence that can't be shook. It can't be rocked. It can't be taken down, because you know where you're going and you know your strength resides in this like embodiment that like losing trust in yourself doesn't exist because you keep showing up accordingly. And so each discipline action reinforces self-confidence and shows others that you're reliable, that you're a leader that they want to follow. That's what motivates me. I want to be a leader that people want to follow, because that means that those followers are going to be built into leaders. Great leaders create followers who turn into leaders. And in order for me to do that, to do my God-given assignment, which is leadership, creating leaders to be better leaders, I have to make sure that I am consistently showing up in the way that I said I would show up, which is discipline, which is consistency, which then builds my self-confidence. If you want to have more confidence, be disciplined. That's like pro tip there. So consistently delivering on promises to your audience, to your clients, and again, to yourself. Third piece on why it's so crucial, it ensures long-term success. So business growth requires sustainable habits, not short-term bursts of effort. It requires sustainable habits, not short-term bursts of effort. There's like quick push, burnout, versus if I was just dedicated and consistent and disciplined, eventually all of my small goals and steps compile into really big wins. And that's long-term sustainability, longevity, versus all in, pause, push, pause. If your business is always in a reactionary state, not a proactive, that means you're relying on motivation and you're lacking discipline. We should always be in a proactive state as entrepreneurs, not reactive. And if you're in a reactive, this is your sign to either hire a mentor, like get into a community that supports you with this. Otherwise, you're going to keep burning your own bridge and you're going to get stuck on a hamster wheel and not actually create the impact and income that you came here to create. I'm just here to speak truth, not validate your feelings. I love you. So for the long-term success piece here, example, regularly review your finances, honing in on your skills or networking strategically. Really continue to refine how you show up, get into the rooms, invest into yourself, show up more fully, like whatever you have to do to keep strengthening who you're becoming. Do it. If you say you're going to be joining the university, or you already have, and you're like, I'm going to show up on every single open office hour because I want to get the most out of this high level, high value container so I can see the results. Well, great. Then you're going to set a recurring meeting on your calendar, because I can't show up at your house to tell you to get on the call, but you're going to put it on your calendar every Wednesday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. EST, reoccurring. You're going to be on there every Wednesday, and you're going to see massive change in your business because of that discipline. So whatever that is for you, choose something right now that you know is going to support you with moving forward, and stick to a plan. I want to touch on next the downfall of relying on feelings. By the way, I hope you're taking a lot of notes, because this episode, we're like, can you feel it? We're going in. Like I sat down, I'm like, all right, Holy Spirit, fill me up. Like, what do they need to hear? And Holy Spirit's like, go in. They need the fire. They need the conviction. They need the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step process to really go all in on their assignment. So I am just the messenger. I hope you're keeping up. I hope you're taking notes, maybe listening to this on 1x versus 1.5x, and or listening to this again and again and again as many times as you need. So the downfall of relying on feelings. Let's go there, okay? I don't think enough people talk about the downfall of relying on your feelings, which kind of goes against like self-development and working on yourself. It's like always kind of checking in with yourself and your feelings. How does this feel? Which is good, and also a detriment. With good, there's always a flip side. So feelings are unpredictable. I want to give you an example here. Feeling inspired one day and procrastinating the next because you're not in the mood. I'm sorry. If you're an entrepreneur, a leader, a business owner of any kind, and you let "I'm not in the mood" dictate how you show up in your business, right? We're just talking business right now, not life, not outside your office, business. If you go off of "I'm just not in the mood," I mean, it's all a choice, but I can tell you where your business is going to not be, or where it's going to be in 6 months. Another piece here, overcoming the urge to wait for the right time or perfect conditions. Can I get an amen on how liberating it is when we stop falling prey to, oh, wait for the right time or perfect conditions? There's never going to be perfect conditions. There's never going to be a right time. Can we just come to that conclusion and make choices based off that? Can you start to make decisions in your life based off where you're going, not your current reality? Because this is going to get you out of the loop of, I'll wait for better circumstances, for the more aligned time. I'll wait for current things in my life to change, and then I'll do the thing. That mindset is what keeps people from creating massive impact and income. Like, I could just be done with the episode right here, and that's all the wisdom that you need. But again, it's up to you. I'm just here to share. So overcome the urge to wait for the right time. Discipline teaches you to act even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. Like, when you are given an opportunity to level up, to go all in on your business, to change something, to launch something, and it's like an inconvenient time. Like, gosh, any other time this would work. Any other time I would feel better about this. If you keep making decisions based off of your feelings and current situation, well, then you're actually keeping yourself from the success that's on the other side of your feelings and in alignment with using the muscle of discipline and leaning into where God's guiding you. I think we landed that plane. Yeah, we good? Leadership implications. As a leader, others depend on your consistency. Point blank. So falling for your feelings can cause misalignment for your team and your clients. If you're not consistent, people around you are going to notice that and they're going to lose trust in you. So how do we cultivate discipline? How the heck do we cultivate discipline? Because I know you hear me. I know this is landing. And I know that no matter where you're at on your discipline journey, I know you want to create more of it. I do. I'm not at a place where I'm there. I don't ever want to be there. There is no there. I am always finding blind spots where I'm not disciplined in teeny little ways in my life. And thank goodness I am surrounded by incredible mentors that I've invested my time and energy into, that I'm in peer-led masterminds, that I'm in groups of other women that call me up. So I'm very grateful for that. So I'm going to teach you 5 different ways to cultivate discipline. Number 1, set clear goals. Knowing your why gives purpose to your discipline. Knowing your why gives purpose to your discipline. If you don't have a why, you don't have a reason to get up and do the thing when you're lacking motivation or your feelings are taking over. So break your big goals into smaller, actionable steps. This is why the university is so powerful, because each course is broken down within the curriculum that month. Like personal branding is the month of January for winter semester, and each week is broken down into 4 different bite-sized goals for personal branding for women to execute. So you can do that in any area of your life. So set clear goals and know your why behind each goal. Second one, create non-negotiable habits. Discipline thrives in routine. So create positive habits that help you follow through on what you say you're going to follow through on. Daily priorities, and commit to completing them no matter what. No matter what. Third, act despite your feelings. Act despite your feelings. Train your mind to prioritize action over emotion. Action over emotion. Your emotions can't always be trusted. Action is tangible, so you know where you're going when you choose that over emotions. When feelings creep in, remind yourself that of the end result and what you're working towards. When it does, not if, when it creeps in, remind yourself of where you're going, your goals, and remember your why, and then act from there. Fourth one, build accountability. Share your goals with someone who will hold you accountable. Again, this is why in the university we have study buddies. So women can really be held accountable, because I can't be in your home telling you to do the thing, but I can partner you up with a study buddy that has similar goals as you, and they can hold you accountable, and vice versa. So find accountability if you know you need that. Again, join the university, find a mentor, find a best friend. It doesn't matter. University is my baby. So I'm always going to use that as an example because I know the transformations that it provides. Fifth one here, celebrate small wins. Discipline doesn't mean neglecting joy. Rewarding your progress is going to keep you motivated for the long haul. So continue to celebrate the goals that you achieve because of your discipline, and that's healthy motivation to keep going. Rinse and repeat again and again. Discipline, celebrate, motivation, discipline, celebrate, motivation. That's your roadmap to success. So why discipline is the ultimate leadership quality. Kind of want to wrap it up with that. Leaders set the tone. Like your discipline inspires others to follow suit. If I wasn't disciplined and just kind of ebb and flowed with this podcast, or like kind of showed up on social media, like kind of showed up for my clients, are you kidding me? Like it would fall apart, because like no one wants to follow someone that's wishy-washy. No one wants to follow someone that's half in, that's toe dipping. People want to follow a leader who is all in, who is leading boldly, leading courageously. So where in your life have you set a tone to your audience, to your community, that's kind of a halvesies in tone? And take a look at who's around you, and you'll see that reflection pretty quickly. So leaders set the tone. Be a leader who shows people what it looks like when you go all in and when you're consistent with what you say you're going to do. I would even add here, discipline breeds confidence. So teams and clients trust leaders who remain steady even in uncertain times. Even in uncertain times, people follow leaders who consistently show up, who consistently are disciplined and follow through on what they say they're going to do time and time again. So what type of leader do you want to be, and what kind of followers do you want to have follow you to turn into leaders? If that's part of your brand and your mission, then you got to show up consistently. So like recap here, discipline is what transforms ideas into results and leaders into trailblazers. I'll repeat that. Discipline is what transforms ideas into results and leaders into trailblazers. So if you are here to be a trailblazer, then this episode, I hope and pray, was the exact medicine that you needed. I want to challenge you here. Identify one area in your business where you've been relying on motivation. And this week, commit to being more disciplined with it, and watch how the motivation is actually inspiration at the result of you going all in and seeing changes because of that slight shift. And then watch how people around you change how they are around you because of your shift from toe dipping, lack of consistency, even if it's just 5%, right, to going all in. Because you could be listening to this thinking, but I am disciplined, Taylor. I'm really consistent. Awesome. But there's always more to refine as leaders. There's not always like more from a place that there's more healing, more work to do. No, as leaders, it is our job to constantly be finding our blind spots, our weaknesses, and amplifying those by stepping into our strengths, getting honest with ourselves, and doing the work, which means like listening to this podcast and integrating what you learned time and time again. So I pray that this was the fiery, truth-speaking, convicting episode that you needed to either lean more into being disciplined, because no one's going to come rescue you. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to make it happen for you. It is up to you. Do you have people around you that support you and cheer you on? Yes. But guess what? They have their own lives, their own things they're creating and building. They need you to show up for you, and they'll be there to support you, but no one's here to rescue you. No one's going to tie your shoe for you. Yeah, they might, but in the end, it's up to you to lead yourself, to be able to lead others. So again, I pray that this supported you, activated you. If it did, come send me a DM over on Instagram at Taylor Simpson. Let me know how this episode landed, what you took away. Share this episode, screenshot it, put it on your stories, send the link to a friend, whatever you can do to spread the word. And if you are watching this on YouTube, comment the word trailblazer. That's our little key that you are watching this on YouTube. Comment the word trailblazer, and I am excited to see who's tuning into this via video. Can we do something cool? You know where I'm going. Can we do something cool? Can you go out into the world and show someone what it looks like to radiate and embody joy, what it looks like, what it sounds like. Can you do that? Can we do that? You never know what kind of ripple effect that you are going to create. As always, I'm so grateful that you tuned in. If you have not yet left a review sharing what you love about the show on iTunes, it takes like 30 seconds and means the world. So if you haven't done that yet, I would greatly appreciate that. And I will talk to you on the next episode. Bye. I pray that this episode supported you, served you, activated you, and don't forget that Untamed University winter semester is officially open for enrollment all the way up into the first week of January. So if you are listening to this between now and January 7th, I'm almost positive, make sure to head to theuntameduniversity.com and enroll for winter semester. This is 3 courses in one: personal branding, community building, and monetizing your ecosystem with high converting leads and offers. So you can step fully into your God-given assignment, create the impact and income you came here to create. Head to theuntameduniversity.com to join us for this winter semester. I hope to see you in there with this thriving community.